I'm Tony Sklar with bnetTV. We are here at MobileCon and Pepcom in San Diego. I'm having the pleasure of speaking with Mr. David Leong from Kingston. How are you today, sir?
Hey, Tony. Good to see you. I'm very well, thank you.
Good to see you too again, my friend. It's been it's like a big conference family around here, but always a pleasure to talk to Kingston.
Hey, it's good to see you too. I know it's been a few months, but
Right?
it's always good to be back on bnet.
So let's talk about what's new at Kingston.
Yeah, you know what? We're getting ready to launch a new USB drive, but it's kind of a USB drive with a twist. It's called our Data Traveler Workspace, and I know Workspace might seem kind of like a weird name, but here's the thing. Think of at the end of this month, Microsoft is about to launch Windows 8, their new OS. So what we've done is we're working with Microsoft to develop a full version of the Windows 8 OS on a USB. So there's some caveats to that, right? So it's Windows 8 Enterprise Edition, so that means it's for the corporate customers. And what we do on the Kingston side is we're providing enterprise customers, the corporations, companies, a full-fledged version of Windows 8. It's called Windows to Go, and it's run off of a USB drive. So our USB drive is called Data Traveler Workspace, and it's a USB with SSD-like functionality.
So it's BYOD in your pocket for the corporation, really.
It really is, because what it's doing is this. When you say bring your own device, this can run pretty much on any computer. It has USB 3.0 speeds, but it will work on USB 2.0 computers. So you're basically, if you're a corporate customer, that is, you bought the drive from Kingston and you have the license from Microsoft, then you have the drive, you're plugging this into your computer. What it does is it's creating a VPN connection, sort of phoning home, if you will. Phoning home to authenticate, and once it authenticates with a server where it's all set up on the back end, back at the company you work for, you're a remote employee, let's say you're a field sales employee,
right.
Or it's a mobile workforce, mobile work environment, then you're just plugging it in and you're able to run Windows 8 right off of the USB. You just leave it plugged in all the time, and your computer thinks that this USB is basically the C drive. The entire OS is on here.
Sounds like it's got good security measures for a corporation, because no matter what computer you plug it into, you don't have to worry so much about computers getting lost, broken, stolen, dropped, which would be a huge thing, right? And as a corporate user, it's I'm going to sort of show it up here to the camera, right? A 32 gig stick is enough to be able to do all the things that you need to do, but connect back to your VPN so your documents are stored at the server.
It's exactly right. There's two places where you can store it. It all depends on how each company wants to configure the drive. You think about it. You could store all the documents in the cloud, or you're storing it back on a drive, back on the server. The important thing is that having Windows to Go allows you that flexibility to work in a mobile location, to work mobilely. I don't think that's a word, but
it is now.
It is, yeah. It's to work mobilely. It allows you to work away from the office. Like I said before, if you're like a field sales force, rather than this, what a company's going to do is this. Rather than, if a company needs to deploy a bunch of laptops or even desktops to people that work in the field, then it's probably more economical if, hey, you can work on your own computer if you want at home, if you have your own already. Let us give you the drive. And that way, you plug the drive in, it'll phone home, you've got the OS right on the drive. Don't worry about storing, don't worry about the storage. Don't let the 32 gig drive here throw you that maybe it's not enough capacity. Because
listen, 32 is still quite large, even for general documents. Unless you're working with large videos or Photoshop documents, 32 gigs is completely sufficient.
It really is, and in the environments where they want to store some files locally, we're making the drive available in both 32, 64, and 128 gigabytes too. So you don't have to worry about that space. The key here is being flexible and being able to use Windows to Go in a mobile environment away from the office. And then, you just leave the drive plugged in all the time. Somebody asked us the other day, it's like, well, what if I'm working on my computer? What happens if I accidentally pull the drive out?
Good question. Excellent question.
Yeah, well, the way Microsoft has built this into the service, and also Microsoft and Kingston working together, is that you have 60 seconds to plug the drive back in. So you have a full minute. If you accidentally dislodge it, all you have to do is plug it in. You can continue your work uninterrupted.
Those are the fantastic workspace to be in, and good for you guys for partnering with Microsoft in getting something like that accomplished. It's obviously good travel size and much more economical from a capex standpoint for corporations to deploy hundreds and hundreds of these types of systems versus buying hundreds of outdated laptops.
It's exactly right, because in the USB, it's essentially a USB 3.0 with SSD technology inside. So if something were to go wrong with the drive, it is much easier to replace the drive than an entire laptop. You know, one of our customers that's looking at the solution is perfect. You know, you think of employees on an oil rig. So an oil rig is parked 10 miles offshore, something like that. And it costs a lot of money if a laptop or if a desktop, some computer goes down. You have to fly that machine back to the mainland.
That's no longer an $800 machine.
Exactly. You know, you figure it's the time spent to fix it, the time lost, the efficiency of work because you don't have a computer to work on. What you can do is this. If you're working on an oil rig, think about carrying a bunch of extra USB drives like this. Something goes wrong, fix the drive eventually, but you pull another one, plug it in, you're back to business.
Right. So, announced?
It'll be coming out at the end of this month, end of October. So Windows 8, I believe, is scheduled for October 26th. Yep. Kingston will make our announcement right around that time.
Fantastic. David, always a pleasure to speak with somebody from Kingston. Great product, well-timed within the marketplace. Nice to see companies doing things that are progressive, that are bringing down economics for companies that need to get up and running fast.
Hey, you know, we need to, like, if you don't mind, we have to thank our partners on this. You know, we work with some key industry partners. Obviously, Microsoft is one, but we wouldn't be able to do this if it weren't for partners such as Genesis Systems, which helped us with the on the controller side, and obviously LSI Sandforce on the controller side also. You know, Genesis allows us to get a bridge to bridge solution from the controller to USB 3, and LSI on the controller side. It's really this whole ecosystem that allows us to bring this product to market.
Absolutely fantastic. Congratulations on a fantastic product.
Thanks, Tony. Good to see you.
I've been speaking with David Leong here at Kingston at Pepcom during MobileCon in San Diego 2012, and I'm Tony Sklar with bnetTV.